Alright, well it's been a while since I made my last video, so I figured I'd make this video to talk about a game I've been playing for the last few weeks. This is Realm of the Mad God. It's a free-to-play, bullet hell roguelike MMO, where you clear dungeons for loot to improve your character. There's 18 classes in Realm of the Mad God, but you only start with the wizard class and you unlock the others by leveling up. Now each class comes with its own ability. For instance, the assassins use poison to deal damage, whilst priests come with healing tomes to heal people in an AoE. Each class has two different weapon types to choose from. For example, a wizard can use staves or spell blades, whilst a knight can use swords and flails. There are 3 different types of armour as well. These are robes, which are used by classes such as wizard, priests and necromancers. There's leather armours, which are used by things like rogues, assassins and tricksters, and then there's heavy armours, which are used by classes such as knights, warriors and paladins. Anyway, that's enough yapping about classes. Let's talk about what you actually do in this game. So obviously you're going to start off as a level 1 with low tier gear. You're going to make your way into a realm, which can have up to 85 players at once, and you're going to start killing enemies to level up and improve your gear. Now the further you travel in this realm, the harder the enemies are going to become and the more XP and better loot they'll start giving you. Now it doesn't take too long to reach a max level of 20, at which point you can target farm bosses and dungeons to get stat potions and better gear. Now stat potions permanently increase your character's stats until they're maxed out, and there's 8 different stats to max out, which are life, mana, dex, speed, attack, defense, vitality and wisdom. And once you've maxed out your character, you can start farming exaltation dungeons to get more stat increases for the class you're playing. And then you're going to die at some point and you'll have to start the whole process again.
You are actually not.
And since we're on the topic of death, since this is a roguelike game, you're going to lose all of your gear, your stats and the levels, but you're going to keep any items you've placed in your stash, potions in your potion rack, your exaltation progress, and you're going to keep your pet, but I'll talk more about pets later. You also get fame when you die, which can be used in the shop to buy gear, cosmetic dyes, pet eggs, and can be used to level up your pet. Okay, so let's talk about the loot in this game. So loot drops as different bags. So there's brown bags and pink bags, which are visible to everyone, and these contain health and mana potions and low tier items. Then there's a bunch of different bags. All of these are visible only to the player. So these are purple bags, which contain mid tier items, cyan bags, which contain high tier items, blue bags, which contain stat potions, golden bags, which contain skins and blueprints, which can be used to unlock crafting recipes. There's orange bags, which contain set items, red bags that contain the highest tier of items, and the elusive white bag, which contains untiered items, also called UTs, and these are similar to unique items in Path of Exile. There's also egg baskets, which contain pet eggs. Since the last update, most items in the game can come in 5 different rarities, and the rarer the item, the more modifiers it can roll onto it. Now, items come in common, uncommon, rare, legendary and divine rarities. Common items have no mods, uncommons have 1, rares have 2, legendaries have 3, and divine rarity items have 4 mods. These mods can all be re-rolled at the enchanter. If you want to re-roll these items, you do have to spend dust, which is a currency you obtain by completing dungeons. Now, I mentioned dungeons earlier, but I do need to talk a bit more about them. So when you kill enemies in RotMG, they have a chance of dropping a dungeon, and these dungeons can roll modifiers, very similar to maps in Path of Exile. Now these modifiers can either make monsters harder or easier to deal with, and they can also make the dungeon more rewarding. So the rarer the modifiers on a dungeon, the higher grade the dungeon will be, with the highest grade being an S grade dungeon. You can think of it kind of like those Korean manhwas, where the dungeons have different rankings. Now each dungeon will have a dungeon boss that drops a stat potion, and they'll have a chance to drop other items like set items or untiered items depending on the dungeon. And some dungeons also have treasure rooms, which could be a chest or a mini boss that give stat potions and other items. Alright, so let's talk about pets. In RotMG you can find or buy pet eggs, which you can hatch for a pet. Now pets come in different rarities, and the rarer the pet, the more abilities they can have. Common pets come with 1 ability, uncommon and rare pets can have 2, whilst legendary and divine pets can have 3 abilities. But to max out the level of all 3 abilities, you're going to need a divine pet. You can also fuse 2 pets together to make a higher tier pet. So 2 common pets make an uncommon, 2 uncommons make a rare, 2 rares make a legendary, and 2 legendaries make a divine. Just be aware that the abilities transfer from the first pet selected in this fusion, not the second. You also want to make sure that the first 2 abilities your pet has are heal and magic heal, since they're the best in slot, and the third ability can be whatever ability you want. Finally, let's talk about the microtransactions in this game. So RotMG is a very pay-to-win game, because you can buy just about everything for real money, from top tier gear to legendary pets, to high feed power items, additional storage space, character slots, blueprints, max level potions, loot and XP potions, dust free enchantments, and dungeon keys to spawn dungeons. But with all that said, since the game isn't a competitive game, I don't find this a very big issue at all, and it hasn't really affected my gameplay in any way. I should also mention that they do frequently give out these items as login rewards and as event rewards as well, and they give you a vault expansion and a character slot just for leveling up your account. Anyway, I think that you should check out the game regardless of the pay to win aspect and see if you like it or not, since it's a free to play game and you don't need to spend a penny. Now the game has a lot of different items for you to farm. It has numerous dungeons and bosses, some of which I haven't been able to beat, I've got my ass kicked. And if you can get past the pay to win shop and the pixel graphics, which aren't for everyone, then I think you might actually like the game. And if you decide you want to check out the game, then I do suggest playing on US East or US East 2, because that's where the majority of people are actually playing on. Anyway, that's all for this video. Maybe I'll make some more Realm videos in the future, but I'm mainly waiting for the next PoE League. Anyway, with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.